Sinister Stories.
Amidst a secluded expanse of woodland where the trees whispered forgotten secrets and the air crackled with an otherworldly energy, stood a rustic Airbnb, a solitary refuge chosen by 7 friends seeking solace and revelry on New Year's Eve. Within this group were Max, the jovial instigator, Lily, his spirited counterpart, Jake, the thoughtful observer, Maya, the enigmatic soul, Eric, the pragmatic thinker, Sarah, the empathetic listener, and Alex, the peacekeeper who always sought to ease tensions. The night was filled with laughter and joy, everyone enjoying each other's company. The party was in full swing. As the clock approached midnight, anticipation permeated the cozy cabin. Laughter echoed within the walls as they prepared to welcome the new year. But at the stroke of midnight, the lights flickered ominously, plunging the room into an unsettling darkness. An uneasy silence fell over them until the lights flickered back on. Cheers of Happy New Year had flooded the main living room. Everyone was hugging and kissing. A celebratory mood was in full swing. Their joy started to turn to horror when they realized Maya was missing. Anxiety rippled through the group as they scoured the cabin, calling out her name in desperation. Yet their frantic search yielded no trace of their friend. Panic set in when they discovered their phones and watches displayed an inexplicable reality. All devices had reset to 11 p.m. Confusion spiraled into fear as they grappled with the inexplicable loop. Everyone continued the search, calling out her name. The fear of midnight, the fear of the new year looming. The unease was starting to settle as each member of the party stared at one another from afar. With the strike of midnight approaching, the lights flickered, and one among them vanished without a trace, resetting time back to 11 p.m. Their futile attempts to escape the cycle only fueled suspicion and paranoia among the group. The once strong bonds of friendship frayed as accusations flew and tempers flared. There seemed no reason for this torment, and the cabin offered no clues to their predicament. Eric, the pragmatic thinker, attempted to rationalize their situation, but the lack of logic in their predicament only heightened their terror. Sarah, the empathetic listener, attempted to diffuse the rising tensions, but their growing paranoia cast a chilling shadow over their interactions. As the night wore on, accusations turned into blame, and blame turned into a sinister game of survival. Each friend suspected the other, their trust eroded by fear and uncertainty. In their desperation to escape, they turned against each other, each accusing the others of orchestrating the nightmarish loop. One by one, they vanished into the abyss, consumed by the darkness until only 3 remained: Max, Lily, and Jake. Their friendship, once a stronghold, now hung by a fraying thread as the cabin echoed with the absence of their vanished friends. Realizing the direness of their situation, the trio confronted the haunting silence of the cabin, haunted by their friends' disappearances. Each harbored suspicions about the others, their once solid camaraderie now shattered by fear and distrust. As the clock ominously struck midnight once more, casting foreboding shadows across the room, the remaining 3 faced an inevitable confrontation. Accusations filled the air, tempers flared, and in a moment of desperation, chaos ensued. In a tumultuous struggle, a terrible realization dawned on them. The curse lay not within the cabin, but within themselves. Their distrust and discord had fueled the malevolent force that had ensnared them in the vicious cycle. Haunted by guilt and remorse, Max, Lily, and Jake attempted to mend their fractured bonds, but it was too late. The curse consumed them, claiming their existence as the clock struck midnight for the final time. As the first light of dawn filtered through the trees, the cabin stood silent, holding the secrets of their tragic demise. The woods reclaimed their tranquility, and the chilling tale of the 7 friends who succumbed to their own distrust and fear faded into the mists of forgotten legends. The realization struck Max, Lily, and Jake like a bolt of lightning in the midst of a storm. They stumbled backward, the gravity of their situation crashing upon them like relentless waves against the shore. Max's accusing finger trembled as he pointed at Lily, his eyes clouded with suspicion. "You knew something about this. You always do." His voice, once filled with laughter, now echoed with paranoia. Lily's fiery spirit blazed with indignation. "Me? You're the one always causing trouble, Max. This is your doing." Jake, the thoughtful observer, attempted to mediate, but the escalating tension had already reached a boiling point. His voice, usually a calm anchor amidst chaos, now faltered. "We need to stop this. Blaming each other won't help." Yet their trust had eroded beyond repair, their friendship fractured by fear and distrust. The cabin, once a haven, now bore witness to their unraveling. As the clock ominously struck midnight once more, the air crackled with an energy born of their discord. Shadows danced ominously, and the room pulsed with an eerie glow. In the chaos that ensued, accusations escalated into a frenzied struggle. Each friend desperately fought to prove their innocence, clawing at the truth that remained just beyond their grasp. In a heart-wrenching moment, as the vortex of discord reached its zenith, Max vanished into thin air, leaving behind a chilling echo of his voice. Lily's horrified scream pierced the darkness, but before any solace could be found, she, too, disappeared into the void. Jake, left alone in the cabin's desolate silence, stood trembling. His heart pounded against his chest as he realized the grim truth. He was the only one remaining. The weight of the nightmarish events pressed upon him like a suffocating cloak. He collapsed to his knees, the isolation and terror overwhelming his senses. Tears streamed down his face as he tried to comprehend the inexplicable fate that had befallen his friends. The clock, a relentless keeper of time, struck midnight again. The lights flickered, casting haunting shadows around the cabin. With a chilling realization, Jake felt himself being pulled into the darkness, consumed by the malevolent force that thrived on their distrust and discord. As the final stroke of midnight faded into the abyss, the cabin stood silent and empty, a witness to the tragic downfall of 7 friends ensnared in their own web of suspicion and fear. The woods reclaimed their silence, veiling the haunting tale of the New Year's Eve, vanished within the shroud of forgotten legends.